This is going to be your weekly twin flame soulmate relationship tarot reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies between you and your person. So in the comments, please let me know your zodiac sign and your word of the day. Okay, so let's get some overall themes and messages for this reading. And we have the runner. Fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. Okay, so somebody right now is running from something. So let's take a look at what else we need to know using some different decks today. Let's see. Oh, there's some cards that are turned over, but that's okay. We'll see. Wounds, childhood trauma affects this relationship. Okay, that could be you, that could be your person. Either they're running, you're running. Usually when one person is running, they're not running from the other person, they're running from themselves, really, right? And so let's take one of these cards here just to see what else we need to know. Oh, this didn't even take its time. The world, completion of a cycle. You know what's interesting? This is a 29 card, which is 11, right? 2 plus 9, 11. 11 is new beginnings. It could very well be that there's an end to some running. And you know what? Just for kicks, I'm going to take another one from this deck because I feel like I should. Let's see. The thinking man. There's a lot to think about. And by the way, 4 plus 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginnings. New beginnings. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the energies in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energies. And of course, feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. And stick around till the end because we're going to take a look at the energies that are coming up next. Okay, here we go. In your headspace, we have the Star card, healing and blessings and wishes coming true. Okay, and with that, we have here the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is wounded warrior energy. It basically means that somebody has been going through some difficult times. They're not down and out. Oh, kitty cats are making some noise in the background here. Pardon me. As soon as I start filming, this is when it all begins. This is where we're working through some wounds, right? And we talked about that up here with the wound card. So it could be that there is some healing to some wounds. And let's see, in your person's headspace, we have here the Ace of Swords, truth and clarity, aha moments or epiphanies. And look, the Star card, mirroring each other. I like that. Okay, let's see what else we need to know here. We're going to go to your heart space. And we have here the Chariot. Now, I've seen the Chariot card quite a bit, actually, in the last few days. That's about moving forward. That is victory. And the Six of Pentacles, equal giving and receiving and balance. That's what we want. That's what we strive for, right? In love and relationships. Okay, let's take a look in your person's heart space. 10 of Cups, happiness, wish fulfillment. You know, whenever I see this card, I look at the lotus flower and I look at the rainbow. And the rainbow is healing, right? It's also perfect timing or divine timing. The lotus flower is special also because it grows out of the muddiest, murkiest waters and turns into something really beautiful. So after a lot of pain or mud, you know, it can be something really lovely. Yeah, there goes my kitty cat. Of course. Okay. All right. We love karma here, but karma is oh, geez, I'm sorry. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. She is in a little bit of a crazy mood right now. She wants attention, which I don't know how she feels she doesn't get enough because she's spoiled absolutely rotten. In your person's heart space here, we have the Three of Pentacles, which is collaboration and working together and basically going to the next level. So there could very well be an energy that says you two need to be on the same page and work together to go to that next level. That's that collaboration. So let's take a look at the overall energy. And we have here the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is about believing in miracles, riding the wave, new emotional experiences. And the Nine of Pentacles is about feeling good in your own skin, right? That's that like self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. Now, let's take a look at underlying energies here. And we have the Two of Swords, which is, are you in the old? Are you in the new? time to make a decision, and Page of Swords, which is all about being decisive. And there could be a bit of spying or observing. Okay. Now let's take a look at some oracle cards. I'm going to do something a little bit different this week. I'm going to take this deck and clarify some of these energies. I feel like ever since the cat, it's the Virgo in me. I apologize. Where I feel like I want it more straight or aligned. Okay, let's get some oracle cards just to kind of feel this out a little bit further before we get into the after tarot. But in your headspace, finality, leaving behind enclosure, healing those wounds or letting something go, obviously, right? And with that, we have pride. There could be a little bit of stubbornness. Ego is also about fear, and we had fear up here. Let's take a look at your person's headspace. Divine feminine. They're thinking about the divine feminine. Very, very interesting. Perspective. There's like a shift in perspective. And you know what's funny? I feel like it's happening because on this end, you might be saying, look, I got to leave this behind. Interesting. See, that's spying or observing. It's almost like they're watching you. They're thinking about you. All right. In your heart space, cloudy judgment, distorted. You're worried about what happens if you move forward. Or maybe there's this feeling of like, well, what if, and we marry potential, we divorce reality, and that's the problem, right? And with that, we have here fantasy. It's really that feeling of being in love, but what we want is balance. We want to feel like there's balance, like we're receiving as well, right? In your person's heart space, withdrawn. The heart has been withdrawn, but they're feeling lonely. This is what it is. They're feeling lonely without you. And we need the collaboration. There's the decisions, right? Are you in the old? Are you in the new? Hot and cold. They're working on things, but it's tough. Clinging to the comfort zone of the past, holding on, confusion. How many of you are really feeling this up and down energy? Because when I was on live earlier today, and I mean, even the last few days, people have been saying it's like an emotional roller coaster. There's tension, there's fear, there's emotions coming to the surface, this, fear of the unknown, running, avoiding things. Underlying energy here is, it's a past life connection. It feels very, very deep, right? And it's exhausting all at the same time. It's almost like depletion. I always ask the question, how many rounds do you want to go? And so I think there's a lot of positive things to this reading, but I also think that there's things to work out or to figure out, right? We can't just sweep everything under the rug. Now let's look at the after tarot to see what's next. This is sort of the after energies of what we saw previously in the tarot. So in your headspace, Five of Cups, I've seen a lot of Five of Cups lately too. It's a bit of grief. But in this aspect, it's like getting over the grief, moving on to something different, next level. And look, the Devil, where they used to be chained, they're not chained anymore. You can see that they're having some spicy energy here. So very, very interesting that that would come through. So this could very well be a next level in the relationship, as long as two people are on the same page. Funny, we talked about illusions, and I think both were having their own separate types of illusions, or fantasies about the connection. This is about decision making. And we talked about this earlier, about options and like what to do. And here you've got 7 cups, but choosing one and seeing where it goes is kind of what's happened here, because it's almost like he's chosen the treasure. And with that, we have here the Knight of Cups, offering a cup of love, being open, drinking from that cup. This isn't even just offering it. This is like, I'm drinking from that cup. And there you go. In your heart space, there's the Fool, trusting and taking a leap of faith, knowing that everything's going to be okay, but you have to leave the old stuff behind in order to gain new clarity. And look, Page of Cups. We had the Page of Cups earlier, riding the wave, being open to new. And that also can be communication, because pages are messengers. And in your person's heart space, there's that Chariot that we talked about earlier, moving forward towards victory, hand on the heart, genuine energy, Cancerian energy. And oops, as I'm dropping cards. And look at this. And it fell reversed. And you know what's funny? I don't read reversals. But the funny thing about the Seven of Swords is that, in this particular aspect, pardon me, is that it's like somebody can't keep up the facade anymore. They can't keep running and they can't keep being in fear. So somebody's going to get kind of called out here. And look, 77777 on your person's side. You can't even make that up. Wow. Okay, overall, we have here the C, Four of Wands, Union 1111. That is like a union, marriage card, celebration, Queen of Pentacles, stability. She's being offered this pentacle, and underlying energy is the Page of Wands, throwing caution to the wind and enjoying life. And there you go. All this exhaustion, this man in this image anyways, or masculine energy, it's not always about gender, is putting down the burdens. Those 10 of Wands are being put down, and there's the Ace of Wands essentially saying, okay, a spark, passion, and new beginnings. Wow, that is intense. I wasn't expecting such an intense kind of reading. Let's get a last bit of guidance here, and I'm going to take these heart-shaped cards. They're not the easiest to shuffle, pardon me. Oh my. There we go. You almost have to like get them, there we go, aligned. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in the description box below. I have to say this energy is quite interesting and even exciting. So let's take a look for you. What do you need to know right now? What's some advice? What a beautiful looking card, this tree. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Oh, I love that. How beautiful. Okay, and what do we need to know in your person's heart space? I'm going to take this one right here. Okay. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone instead of placing your focus on another. Now is the time to give to yourself. Here's the thing. That's that energy before this. That's why there was a withdrawal. That's why there was this time to think about things. Very interesting. There's almost like a little bit of time that is necessary in order for things to work in your favor. I always ask, do you want short-term pain, long-term gain, or short-term gain, long-term pain? And that's kind of the short-term pain in order to have the abundance in the long run. That's that lotus flower idea in that 10 of Cups. And that thinking man, he's got some thinking to do if he really wants to have that abundance and that deep love. I really hope this resonates with you. Again, if you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in the description box below. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.